I watched your video today. I haven't got the comment, but I am always watching and still lurking in your comments, making sure that none of those trolls give you any shit.
Yeah. It's just part of it, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, you're probably at over. What are you at right now? 200 something?
232.
232. Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
And I've gone back and forth on this a little bit because I said when I started this, I wasn't going.
This is an emergency transmission. Citizens of the world, please, make no mistake. The zombie apocalypse is near. Will you cower and hide, or join us and fight? We are Dezombified, so stay on point and watch your six.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Yo, it's the Writers Block Party with PA Nightmare, Video Noctis. Better recognize.
So are you still thinking about making that Discord server?
Yeah, I have one right now. It's up. It's only Patreon members and YouTube channel members. So I don't think I'm going to open it up to every one of my subscribers. I think it would just take a lot of my time away from, writing and narrating and stuff like that. So
we're live.
Whenever you got a second, drop me that link, man.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
There's that alien up there again. I like that
alien. So, unfortunately today, Philia is not joining us because she's still taking care of her sick mother. So prayers and good vibes for her are always appreciated. However, as always, I got the ever-talented Mia Mina.
Hello.
And with us today is a very talented narrator and with us today is a very talented narrator and a close friend of mine, Creepy Ghost Stories.
Hello. Thank you for having me on. Wow.
Yeah, everybody give you
standing ovation.
Those applause. That's hilarious.
So we always like to start the show off with saying hello to the chatty people. So scrolling up, we got Ben Sheba. Hey, Ben.
Mutant artificial intelligence.
What's up, homie? We got our very own creepy clown girl in the chat.
And we've got, are you afraid of the dark?
Dark? I mean, Art?
Art.
I mean, Art might be afraid of the dark. We don't know.
Well, you look at his art, you will never be afraid of the dark. His art is good.
I saw two of my favoriteest peoples. We got Josie, Kitty, and Mama in the house.
Hey, Mama. Hey, Josie.
We got Boney Platter, Realities in Perspective. Hey, guys.
Hey, Rip. I mean, Realities.
The Boggs official.
Boggs.
I don't know what you're official of, but keep doing it. You do good work.
I don't know. It was cracking me up earlier today. That was what he was official of.
Yeah, Boggs is pretty funny. After the chat, I like to give it over to our guests to tell the fans a little bit about themselves. I mean, you honestly don't need any introduction, but take it away, sir.
Yeah. Creepy ghost stories. I also go by Brett. Got a YouTube channel here narrating some horror stories that I write, and that I also have kind of like a team of writers help me write and read off creepypastas and pretty much anything scary or anything I could get my hands on. So I have 2 books, working on a third. Been working on the third way longer than I anticipated. So,
Ooh.
and yeah, that's about it.
And as always, I'm
Not
looking
too
forward
much.
to it.
Yeah.
Bathsheba wants her dress back, PA.
No, that's mine now. You can't have it. Just real quick, anybody who's not subscribed to Creepy Ghost Stories, I just dropped this link in the chat.
So did I.
Check it out. Oh, well, see? Great minds.
Think alike.
They certainly do.
And if you ever, if you have something that, you got a Saturday afternoon. Okay. So you got 3 days with nothing really to do. He's only got 576 videos. You can binge through those real easy.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh, I
There's
know
a
it takes
lot.
longer than that.
It would be kind of fun to actually add up all the time of the videos and see how
Oh,
long
man.
it would take.
Oh, wow.
You know?
I'm just saying, if you guys want a personal favorite of mine, I still love The Church in the Woods and Burning Down the Ozarks.
Oh yeah, those are fun stories.
Yeah,
Those are
a
great.
lot of narrators made a lot of milestones this weekend. I'm watching them all on Twitter going, hey, look, I made 100, I made 200, I made 300, I made 400. I'm just like, wow, everybody's getting there. That's great.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That's a wonderful thing. And that's one of the things I really enjoyed about this community. And you've been in it a lot longer. Have you had the same? Has it always been welcoming and opening to you?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I've been at this 4 or 5 years now. So, God, when I first started, I did have a lot of collabs at first, and then they sort of died off. But I started with Southern Cannibal, Swamp Dweller. I think Unit 522 was a few years before us, but I could go on. And there's some people that just don't narrate anymore, but we've all kind of collabed and worked together to kind of get where we are now. So.
All right, just real quick, anybody who's interested, the last 2 links that I dropped were to Brett's books. I highly recommend you go check them out.
And I have a thing about buying narrators' books.
Sorry, that's why I was so quiet, because I was getting your links off of Amazon to drop them in the chat.
It's all good.
I
Wait,
actually,
Mia, I'm curious. Go ahead.
Here's
I
a familiar face. Timothy Benefield's here.
Tiffany.
Oh yeah, hey Tiffany.
That's what I said. Did it cut out? Is it because I said Tiffany?
It sounded like you said Timothy.
No, it's a Tim. Now you're gonna make me say it. Tiffany. God. Oh, sorry, babe.
I actually won the first. Yeah, I won the first book from.
What?
Okay, so Sabian, sociopathic,
Oh yeah. Yep.
had a writing contest, and it was to write a camping horror story. And he had like 14 people wrote in stories, and he sent it all off with just numbers, no names, and just numbers, so he knew which one was which, to his judge, which I'm not going to reveal, even though I know who it is.
Yeah.
And and I actually won the writing contest.
Oh wow.
Didn't expect it.
Humble brag. I was second.
Yeah, you and the Baron.
Who was the other one?
The Baron.
Yeah, Baron. Me and Baron, we were like the two runners up. Like the judge had a uber difficult time picking a winner. Yeah, the judge had like a super difficult time picking the winner. Awesome.
Everybody had great stories and everything, but I won his Cleaving Thought from Bone book.
Pursue Mia. I'm joking. I'm really happy Mia won.
And
I read her story and it was amazing.
I got to hear somebody for the first time read one of my stories, and it's surreal.
It's an experience.
And then I went and I bought Beautiful Nightmares book because I wanted to support her. And she ended up telling me that I could read it on my channel. And so it is, nice. That's what I did for my Halloween, Thanksgiving specials. And
you gotta love that, though. I mean,
yeah. And so now I own all of Sabian's books that he has out.
We have Lady Freya J. I think that's how you pronounce it in the chat.
Yes, Lady Fairy J.
Fairy J.
And I've got both of Beautiful Nightmares books. So yeah, I'm slowly collecting.
I got both of Beautiful Nightmares books and both of Brett's books. I actually got duplicates of Brett's books because, spoiler alert, if you're a Patreon in a certain tier, Brett sends you autographed books.
Ooh.
I do. I write little notes in them too.
Ooh, I'll have to see if I can find some more allowance for my Patreon. Yes, he is, Tim.
Yes,
Tiffany.
Tiff.
Yes,
he is amazing.
Oh, you almost did it there, Mia.
Yeah, I did.
Timothy. You caught yourself.
And yeah, that's one of the first. Timothy Duran was one of the first authors that let me read one of his stories, and he didn't have any books that are available right now.
Right? I want his books, but I can't get them anymore.
The ones he had out are out of print.
I don't know if you've been keeping up with my channel, Brett, because I know how busy you are. But the last two videos that I put out were it was a 4-part series from Timothy Duran called The Voices, and it was a damn good story.
I think I noticed that yesterday that you did have a couple of his stories on your channel just recently. So I haven't caught up.
He did an amazing job.
Yeah, I think the last one I listened to was Cabin in the Woods and Fresh Meat, maybe.
Yeah, Fresh Meat is Fresh Meat. Yeah, Fresh Meat was one of my stories, and Cabin in the Woods was 242. I love her. Like, she's a newer narrator who I became friends with. Her voice, her voice rocks.
We've got a lot of new narrators that are really good and really fitting in very well, and we have some that aren't fitting in as well, and that's kind of sad to me.
Right. I don't think we said hi to Boney Platter. Boney Platter's here. Welcome.
Hi, Boney.
No,
I just feel weird calling him that.
right.
But so when did you branch out? Or I know you read other people's stories. When did you start branching into that?
Originally, I read a lot of other people's stories. I would go on creepypasta.org or creepypasta.wikia, and I started that. I started there, and originally it was 3 or 4 minute stories. It was very short, but then I started to do longer stories, and I started to write a little bit here and there. A lot of the original stuff that was on my channel, I did away with. About when was this? 2018. A bunch of the narrators got demonetized, and so it was like Southern Comfort. You know where mine's at right now.
Southern Cannibal, you're now Southern Comfort. If you're listening, dude, you're now Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort. Well, he's got a great voice too.
He does. He does.
Yeah, Kenny's a great guy.
Comfortable voice. Oh, he really is. He really is a genuine guy. Yeah.
So that's something I've noticed about a lot of the OG, which you're in with. Is you guys are so down to earth and genuine people. I mean, Joel is humble to a fault. Eric's just like, he'll bend over backwards to help you if he can.
Oh,
it's just, you guys are great.
And Brett has known me for 3 years now. I'm a very even-tempered human being, but I do not take kindly to when people mess with my friends. And when there was this channel, I'm not going to say his name, but he went after Jensen for putting the word shit in his thumbnail. And oh man, I teed off on him harder than anything. And somebody's like, dude, you have 200 subscribers and they have over 30K. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, no one messes with Jensen.
It's like, you don't know it, and I know who you're talking about, and I don't know what's going on with him, because he used to be a really decent guy, and it's like within the last 6 to 8 months he's just turned into a whiny butt.
Yes, Boggs, the apocalypse, when people the people in CGS's community had to go unite, and that was when CGS finally broke down and made a Patreon, and a bunch of us joined to keep his channel alive.
Oh yeah, you guys, you pulled me through almost a year, really, and then that's when I started writing, and looking for other authors that I could hire as freelancers essentially, and I still have a couple of them that still write stories occasionally for me, so they're paid, obviously for their time. And
actually,
and I know
it was tough.
One of PA's stories.
Still not my favorite story. In fact, it's probably my least favorite story I've ever wrote. Oh, MD Who's here.
MD Who.
But people it's really weird because people seem to love that story, and I just look at it and I'm like, I just don't love this story. But speaking of stories, Brett, I might have something coming your way here shortly.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm still sitting on a story of yours, as I'm sure you know. So
yeah.
So one you sent me a few weeks ago, maybe.
I have a question from Dezombified here. What is the process of becoming published?
Okay. So my process is, get your finished story. I send it off to somebody to edit it in case I miss something. You could easily do it on Grammarly. You want a good book title. You want something eye-catching, but even more importantly, probably out of the whole process, is getting a great-looking cover. And you can buy pre-made covers that they're fairly expensive, couple hundred, 300, 400, whatever you want to spend. My latest book is a custom made cover, and if it ever gets out, you could see it's kind of a custom made by an artist. So you get all that stuff together. You get it formatted for Kindle if you're going the Amazon route. If you're also a narrator too, you'd also want to narrate all your stories beforehand without any background noise, and you can submit them to ACX, which is Audible essentially. Oh. ACX is the program narrators use to narrate books. And then you go onto Amazon and you essentially upload all your information. You do a lot of research regarding your title, your description of your book, what categories to place it within, and you pray that people buy it. I do quite a lot of marketing with my books. I've sold thousands, and there's a lot of places online that you can market your book. For instance, BookBub is one of them, Book Barbarian. And you also want to send out copies to, local newspapers, magazines, pretty much anyone that would do like a book review. With the second book, Leash, I had gathered a bunch of my subscribers up, and I had the narration already down, and I just put it on a video, and I unlisted it on my channel for a bunch of people to listen to, just so I could get some feedback to it.
Cough, cough.
Because I wasn't sure. So, yeah, you were. A lot of the patrons were, yeah. Because a lot of this stuff on Patreon, I offer a lot of stuff to the patrons that the regular YouTube subscribers don't necessarily see. So they get free Audible codes, books. I don't know. There's just a bunch of stuff over there.
I love the podcast that you do, man.
Do you? Because I wasn't sure. We're almost at like 30, and I just don't get a lot of feedback over there.
I watch them. I watch them all the time. So
great.
And hello.
Dezombified says we got to take a break.
So I'm going to say a real quick hello to What the Fuck.
What up? Hey, Sock Goblin. Hey, Sock Goblin, if you can stop stealing my socks, that'd be great. Thanks.
He keeps changing the first part of it, but it's always the amazing What the Fuck in some form.
I like Sock Goblin. It's a fun name.
And Wolfie Von Lupus.
And
Possessed Radio.
We got people popping in left and right.
That's what we need you to do, MD Who.
All right, don't forget to like this video and share it out, because we want to get more people in here.
Yes, and we got a commercial.
Drum roll. The Zombified's narrator of the month is Are You Afraid of the Art? Oh yeah! Woo-hoo!
Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm Creepy Clown Girl with Evil Outcast and our guest Space Oddity Kayla. As you, the Zombified has a merch store with these amazing cups. You can put almost anything in it that you want: a gerbil, a guinea pig, and maybe you could grow your own personal Venus flytrap. Just don't stick your finger in its mouth, because you might lose it.
You can also put an alien in a mug. I've been hiding out in one of those lately. Whenever I need to take a break from the jar, I get into the mug. It's cozier.
What about you, Outcast?
Well, I will say this: if you plan on putting a Venus flytrap in your cup, and if it says "Feed me Seymour," throw it out and get another plant.
No, you keep that one.
Maybe a lily.
No. If it said feed me Seymour, I am putting that thing on a stage somewhere. I'm gonna get rich. I'll be the richest alien this side of the Milky Way.
So make sure you go to teespring.com/store/Dezombified to get your mug, your t-shirts, your whatever your heart desires, and the promo code will be posted in the chat or will be.
I think one of the mods.
The links are in the chat for the Teespring. Go get your merch. Go get your merch.
Yep.
They also have t-shirts. So, and if you want, they can also custom design you your own mug. So if you want them to do that, drop them a DM with your design that you would like to have on your own cup.
Yes, and you too will get your own personalized cup for the Z Horde, like this beautiful, beautifully designed creepy clown girl Z Horde cup, which Cece has her own, I believe.
Yes, I do. I'm drinking coffee out of it right now.
Missing Tomb Talk is a grave mistake. You know, he's right. So grab a seat and join the discussion Sundays at 3, only on Yo, it's the Writers Block Party with PA Nightmare Video Nocturs. You better recognize.
Really, Von Lupus, I've been writing stories a long time, so I don't know. Maybe.
We are back. We are back. I do believe.
Now, I was right. I've got a lot of stories written. I just haven't narrated all of them.
If you're just coming to the chat, again, welcome. Our guest today is Creepy Ghost Stories. And
hello.
If you have not checked out his channel, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, really, seriously.
Yeah, get over there. Come on.
Because, you know, if you wait too much longer, he's going to have 600 up there, and it's just going to get harder to binge.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a binge watcher. I will bring up somebody's channel, go to their trash pile, because most people don't have a playlist that covers all of their stuff from their first one to their newest one in that order. So I go to the trash pile, which is the videos tab, and I hit play all, and I sit there.
She does. I'm
It's a great idea, actually.
Yeah,
it's fun, and it gives me an idea of. I mean, I don't feel so bad about some of mine because I'm seeing that I'm not the only one that does things that I do. You know, if I make a mistake, and I feel really bad. It took me forever to get over that, and then I was on one of Joel's live streams, and he had trouble, and I can't even remember what the word was. He had trouble saying a really simple word. And it's just like he tried 5 times and he just could not get it. And it's like,
I mean, yeah. You guys want to hear one of my personal favorite bloopers from when I was recording this last video? Instead of saying the word again, I said agained, and I was like, agained, really? Agained? Fucking agained? What is agained? And I just was like berating myself for like 5 minutes.
Sometimes when you're in the narration, it just happens, you know, and sometimes you don't even notice it. I take so many different tries on some videos, and
yeah,
my word today was inexplicable.
And you'll love this, Brett, because we're both PA boys, and we say We say Appalachian. Mia says
jeez.
Mia says
Appalachian.
And
All right.
it's become a running joke with me and him. Whenever he does the story about the Appalachian Trail, I'm like, oh no, the dreaded A word. Get ready.
Yeah, if you notice though, the more recent stories around the Appalachian Trail, I try to mix it up now. But there was a notorious story. God, it must be 3 years ago. I just said Appalachian because living in New Jersey most of my life, and then living in Pennsylvania, that's just how we pronounce it. I have a ghostwriter down south, and she says Appalachian. She's never told me Appalachian. I'm like, what?
I'm from North Carolina, and I
wow.
was born on the hillside of the Appalachians. And Appalachian.
Appalachian, yeah. Well, isn't there an Appalachian college too somewhere? Maybe in Tennessee.
Maybe in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But Steve, 13 past midnight, and I had that same discussion. And he's like, yeah, it's weird as you go up and down it, the way that different people say it. And welcome, Tellrell Rogers. I hope I said that right. Yes, realities, yes. And we have two now. We have two Roman thumbs of approval.
Pricks.
It happens.
It does.
That's how we know we've made it.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. You have to have your haters.
I've acquired at least 3 that like to go. They'll like they'll find my videos and they'll give them a thumbs down. And I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to regret it, but the current video I have doesn't have any thumbs down. I'm wondering where my haters are at. I feel left out when they don't go to my video and give it a thumbs down.
The other day, I had a video with like 167 thumbs up with 0 thumbs down. And I was like, what is going on? I've always had thumbs down. There's something wrong here.
What have I done wrong?
Yeah.
So,
Archivy?
Shizzle.
And Archivy? I see Mandizzle Faux Shizzle. And all I can think of is Mandy Mortem.
Right? That kind of was my first thought too.
I know that's not her.
As an author, because we all 3 are, do you have any processes for getting over writer's block?
Oh.
Yeah, work. Seriously, I just don't do YouTube. Obviously, I do have a full-time job, and I work quite a bit. I mean, you know that, PA.
Oh, I do.
My whole process essentially is just to get a template down. If I have an idea, I'll write it out, and then I'll break it into sections, and then I'll add descriptions of where that protagonist is at the time. If he's in a creepy forest, then I'll research it on Google Maps. Maybe I'll research the campsite it's happening at, just so that I could get a lot of atmosphere and descriptions out of the way. And then once I kind of envision it or I see it on the computer, then I could write a little bit more freely. The story itself, I mean, with a lot of creepypastas, they usually follow all the same routes. So it's pretty easy to kind of see where you want to take it or not. I recently did a story about an armpit sniffer.
Oh, I remember that one. Oh, that was such a weird story, bro.
And I wanted to do a story that was funny because it's kind of been a while. I think the one I kind of based it on a little bit was the story about Lowe's that I did, I think, last year. And I just wanted to have this weird, strange protagonist that, has got this fascination with this woman's armpit. So that's kind of where that came from. You just write it out and then you add quirky little little, I don't know,
You had
lines.
that
So.
story up, didn't you? What do you get when you combine an elephant and a rhino? Elefino.
Oh.
Dude, I heard that in your story, and I damn near peed my pants from laughing because I didn't expect it.
Oh yeah.
And the fact it was like coming from like like it came from a character who was in the Marine Corps, that made it even funnier. Yo, you're the great whites in the house.
And so is Philia Noctis.
Hey, Philia.
Hello, everyone.
So I might have to start taking some like tips from you and Mia, because I don't do outlines or even jot down synopses of my story. I literally get an idea and I just put my fingers to the keyboard and start typing.
I do that sometimes.
If you could do that, that's great. But I usually come up with things at work. Like I'll just think about some strange scenarios, or maybe I overheard somebody talking about a life event that I just want to twist into something wicked. And so I'll write it down on my phone. I'll take the notes, and I have like a stack of papers here with, different themes and stories that I want to go with. And if I have like five or six on my desk, then I'll take a look at them, maybe add to this one, maybe add to another one, and just kind of go with that.
Yeah, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, this man works a full-time job, drops 4 videos a week, and writes. I want to know how do you have any free time, bro?
I don't. And you know what's funny is I think it's like I don't sleep at all. So I wake up maybe 9 o'clock. I go to bed at 5 in the morning. So there's zero sleep. I also go to the gym several times a week, and that sucks a lot of time from me.
Oh man, I need to start getting to the gym again, actually.
Yeah, and I have a ton of hobbies. I have a saltwater reef tank, guitar, and everything else. So.
Dude, your fish aquarium is dope.
Oh, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
I should put a video on that Patreon.
I was gonna say you should start posting like pictures of your aquarium on Twitter, man.
Yeah, I think I used to post stuff on Patreon and maybe Instagram when I was doing that a few years ago, but yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
And is it you or your wife has the soap company?
That was me. Ever since the pandemic hit, I stopped doing it because there's just no craft shows to go to anymore. So it's been a year or two since I've made some soap. I have a ton of it in the basement though.
I love how I remember random facts.
Yeah, I was surprised I remember that. No, we do vegan soap, so we don't use any animal byproduct in it. We use shea butter, or towards the end there we're using sal butter, coconut oil, stuff like that.
So apparently Lady Fairy J lost connection, but she's back, and your ex has also joined us.
Your ex, that is a great name.
Your ex is everywhere. I can put up a video, and before I even have watched it myself, your ex has watched it and commented.
Right. This dude is everywhere. He like, it's funny because I'm also everywhere, so I run into him all the time.
Yeah. But he's a great supporter. Of course, CCG is a force of nature.
CCG is just CCG. She's her own entity and her inner self. Sorry, Brian, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm recognizing some of the names in chat.
Who are you?
I think I even follow Creepy Clown Girl on Twitter.
You probably do.
Yeah.
She, like I said, she's a force of nature. She is. We call her the on it girl. If you need something, she is on it. Yes, apparently, his books are on Audible as well, from what he was telling us.
Oh, yep, they're all on Audible. There's several other books. I think there might be, I don't even know, 7 books on Audible narrated by me. They're all kind of interesting.
Cool.
So,
Yes, Tiffany. Your ex is there before a lot of us 99% of the time.
I don't believe that, Tiffany. You're always there. So great. You and sexy grandma. Yeah.
Oh, sexy grandma changed her name, didn't she?
Oh yeah, sexy K. Sexy Karen.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that connotation, but we'll go with it. She doesn't strike me as a Karen.
No, but I'm pretty sure that's her real genuine name. I think that's why she did that. But yeah.
I think I've gotten to calling it entitled people instead of Karens, because it I know people who are Karens who aren't that way.
Yeah.
And I know people who are Chads who aren't that way.
Can
So
you guys-
yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, my mic stopped working, so I had to unplug it and plug it back in.
So I really think entitled people is entitled
that's-
mom, entitled dad,
That's
entitled
better.
child.
Yeah. So I'm still there at your videos pretty much right when you drop them, because you drop them quite often right as I'm getting ready to walk out the door for work. So I listen to them on my way to work.
Almost every day at 2:00. Yeah. I'm taking this weekend off though, so I'm not dropping any videos.
Man,
well,
you
today I
deserve it.
didn't drop one, but so I'm working on a huge
Madam-
narration. So
Okay,
Madam Raven.
Madame Raven.
Welcome.
Madam Raven, I got contacted by one of your writers today. We need to talk because I don't want to take any of your story.
Oh.
So
And you're gonna ask Celia's question?
yeah, is it the last thing she said? Because
She says, "What is your favorite story you've written?"
Oh yeah.
Oh, favorite story I've written.
Yeah.
I mean, next to the armpit story, it's my first book. I think was my favorite, and it's probably the most nostalgic right now. S79, The Horror in the Swamp. It was just a labor of love. It took a while to take off as far as book sales are concerned, but it was everything that I wanted in a book,
Sir,
without like a twist ending. So.
Sir, you actually, I like you. You had a twist ending. You like the progression of the character. How he, I'm not gonna say it, but he did a thing that it was like it didn't seem like he was that kind of person. But by the time he was done getting put through hell, he just snapped. But
you know what? When you have when you have a family guy to begin with, and the premise of the story was he was abducted essentially and put into this abandoned bunker in the swamps, and he had to survive all these horrors within the swamp and this creature that was chasing him, and the real life horror is the people that put him in there. And so he kind of evolved during his time within that bunker. And he always refers back to his father. My father would teach me this, or, that bastard would do this to me. And so at the end, we have a different protagonist from what we started with. But we had to have a revenge story.
Well, I mean, it's not always a good thing to have the protagonist always be the good guy.
right?
Sure, yeah.
But I was gonna say, I'm actually surprised you haven't, with your love for fantasy and Lord of the Rings and all that, you haven't dabbled in writing horror stories that are rooted in mythology.
Well, for the YouTube channel, I just don't think it would go over well with the subscribers. So I've stayed away from that. I think I've narrated a couple of different strange stories like that over the years. I'm sure I've done one or two.
Yeah.
But I have thought about maybe doing some sort of high fantasy novel.
Let me whip you up one of my horror stories with mythology based in it. They usually go over pretty well.
Yeah.
There for a second, I thought you were going to say, "Let me whip this out here."
Excuse me while I whip this out. But
If you hear a thud on the table, I apologize.
oh, jeez. What seems to be going over now, now anyway, and you'll see Mr. Creeps doing stories and Dr. Creep in his military and sci-fi. It just seems to be grabbing up the subscribers and the views. So you kind of, with YouTube, you kind of have to stay with the trends like that, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, As the Raven Dreams has been doing sci-fi since he came out, basically.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people leaning towards the dark web stories too, and
oh my god,
people, you don't need to go on the dark web. Just listen to the stories; you'll get enough of it.
Speaking of dark web and Raven. Speaking of dark web and Raven, man, that Raven had that one dark web story, and he put it out, and it blew up.
And then he's like, "I'm having a hard time finding them." And then I don't remember whose channel it was, and they've got 20 dark web stories in one video, and I'm like, Raven. Mitch Connor, hello. He says you should probably write a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I've done that.
A great DM. I used to be a DM.
I would play with you, man. I would straight up play with you. Like that would playing D&D would be with you would be dope.
Yeah. Years ago I used to play Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what I used to do with my Saturday afternoon every other week. Isn't it? Madam Raven says it's so weird to hear creepy ghost stories out of narration just being himself.
Speaking of which, CGS, you said sci-fi story. I just emailed you another story.
Okay.
Awesome. I love sci-fi horror, so that's probably my favorite genre.
And yeah, MD Who, I definitely enjoy those from you. I do that with my characters too. It's like the one I just sent, Disturbed KPA heard it, and he's like, "Okay, where's the rest of it?" So did Creepy Clown Girl. She's like, "Where's the rest of it?"
You know, I've gotten one massive complaint with my stories, and people do not like the fact that I keep it really close to reality, and the fact that my characters, they usually don't survive.
They shouldn't.
You're
right.
What's
that's
his
how
name?
I feel about it.
What's his name? The guy that wrote Game of Thrones.
Oh, J.R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
The guy who likes to pretend that he's Tolkien, but not.
No, he just likes to kill everybody.
Dude, I don't know if you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you watch Epic Rap Battles of History, Brett, but you definitely should check out the one where they do Tolkien versus Martin.
Oh, I'll check that out. I've caught a few of them, but yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, I got a question from Dezombified. Will Creepy Ghost Stories be reading for us after the next break?
Oh, I gotta find something really quick.
So the answer is yes, once you find it.
More side characters should survive and become the main character in the second story. That's a cool idea.
Who said that? Oh, you know what?
Wolf on Lupus.
You know what, Wolf on Lupus? I'm going to take that into consideration, and I will do that for you.
Yeah, he's still trying to get me to work on the Yule story, the other side of the Yule story first. I've got to start that.
Also, I'm waiting for you to do the story that I wrote for you, Mia, with the poem.
That's coming up. It's coming up.
But
I got to do one of my stories for more. Well, it's going to be a poem, but I got to do one of mine first. Really. The narrates got way ahead of the talks.
Oh, jeez.
What do I want you to read? Yeah, and Madam Raven, I'm really enjoying, the how to survive camping right now. I really, really am. And then I started listening to the Faye story. She's got me trapped in series. I swear.
Bathsheba, don't tempt me. I can do it, and I can make it good too. Bathsheba's like, PA while the bum off the street show up at the end, and I'm like, don't tempt me. I can do it.
That was actually a okay. So one of the ways that I broke writer's block is I joined some writing groups that give out little challenges like every week or 2 weeks, like that.
Yeah.
And they give out, this is your prompt, or you can choose one of these prompts and go with it. And that's one of the ways I broke that.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I saw recently in a group for 13 Ghosts was your character picks up a pair of glasses off of a dead man that you find in a field. They're the glasses from 13 Ghosts.
Oh, nice.
What do you do?
Yeah,
but I just want to tell Bathsheba this. Bathsheba, the only story that I have currently on Philia's channel, CCG said somebody write a story about human popsicles. That was the writing prompt she gave me, and I wrote a story about human popsicles. And it's still currently her best. It's still currently Philia's best viewed video on her channel.
Blue Falcon Suck has joined us.
Welcome to time to hear our guest read a spooky story.
Writer's block is when your imaginary friends won't talk to you. That ain't me. They won't shut the fuck up. I'm not insane, but some of these voices are sketchy as fuck.
All right, Dezombified just said we're going on a break, so...
All right.
Take her away!
Drum roll! Dezombified's narrator of the month is... Are You Afraid of the Ark? Oh, yeah! Woo-hoo!
Feeling trapped and alone?
Tired of being sick and tired?
Then there's a place for you.
Hidden deep in the forest by a fresh lake, nestled by snow-capped mountains, is the commune. Enjoy life surrounded by friends and nature.
A truly safe environment.
Albuquerque.
And when the sun goes down, we all get down and watch the sparks fly. Don't hesitate and send in your application today.
Open yourself for new experiences, imagery, sounds, and for me. Indulge in the best. You deserve it. I deserve it. We all deserve it at the commune. Albuquerque.
Allergic to nuts? Ambush, how sad. Yay, more for me. Buy a mug or hoodie at our Teespring store then. Will you go there? Scan the code, please. Thank you.
MP3 4s?
Yeah, MP4, yeah.
Wow.
Do you upload do you upload in HD?
No.
That might be what's going on with mine because I upload in HD.
That might be.
And you really don't need to. So.
And we're back. And
real quick,
yes.
How do you shut that off? how do you not upload in HD?
You don't make the video in HD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that.
When you format your video, you don't do it in HD.
So, the more you know. Yeah, it could get a little weird, Wolf, but you have to realize one of my My second story by Timothy Duran was called My Siberian Freezer. And it kind of had something to do with human popsicles. And yeah, the Mississippi backwoods, nice. Got plenty of things to keep you company over here in the bayou of Louisiana too.
Is that the staging ground for the Horror in the Swamp?
Yeah.
Elda Gusto, welcome.
I am a file of useless information.
Format on potato?
Yes, Madam Raven. Timothy is awesome.
Yes, he is. He is so talented. The music, and he's smart as a whip. I can't believe he's as young as he is. He drives me crazy.
I've told Timothy, but this was not a joke, that I summoned Timothy. Yes.
No, Boggs, it was not. It was not.
But
Matter of fact, Timothy and I will both tell you, don't watch the Siberian movie. Do not watch that.
But I told Timothy, and this wasn't a joke, that I am going to raid his website and do every single one of his stories that he has on that website.
I think the next thing I have from him is a series of 3 stories that I'm going to need some voices for. So
I'm here.
Yeah, I know you are. So did you find a story?
Well, let's see what we could do. Yeah, I'm trying here. I don't want to narrate something that's just absolutely terrible. So,
yeah, the Serbian. You don't need to go watch the Serbian movie. Nobody needs to see that.
You could always narrate the spotlight of your short story book, Leash.
I could if you have 30 minutes or so.
Dezombified, did we got 30 minutes? I think that was.
Of course they would say that.
I'm too old for this shit.
Trust me, there's a reason why the Serbian movie was banned. Trust me, and Tim, you don't need to see that. Go watch cat videos; they're a lot better.
So Dezombified just said in the chat, yes. So if you want to read Leash, take it away, bro.
How about this? How about we read The Night Terror in Cell Block 3B from Leash? It's a little shorter. The issue I'm going to have is I don't have a lot of light in my room right now, so let me just turn one of my screens on white. And we'll get into it. There we go. All right. Ready? The Night Terror in Cell Block 3B. This is actually like the third part of a series within the Leash book, but it could be a standalone too. Why not? I was 17 when I was convicted of killing my baby brother. I didn't do it. Not that anyone believed me then. And I don't think anyone believes me now. But I did not kill Andy. Cries of not guilty echo from every cell in prison, though. Nobody here did what they were accused of. At least, not to hear them tell it. My pleas of innocence were met with derisive laughter. And I finally stopped saying I'm innocent out loud. I don't say much to anyone these days. I have a court-appointed attorney. The look in his eyes say what his mouth doesn't. He doesn't believe I'm innocent either. My parents refused to pay for a defense attorney. So that tells me they think I did it too. Not that they had the money to pay for a lawyer, but they don't visit either. During the trial, their twin expressions of disgust and hatred mixed with the soul-crushing loss of their baby, leaving only shells of the parents that I once knew. I couldn't stand to look at them in the eyes and see how they felt about me. To know they thought I was capable of murdering my own brother was worse than any sentence a judge and jury could pass on me. And naturally, There were appeals to be filed. I have to give my public defender props for doing his job, even though he had his doubts about me. I knew nothing of the procedures or what was expected of me. If not for Mr. Donner and his sense of duty, I would have been lost to the system completely. I spent the first 30 days in the fish tank while I was processed into the system, and they found a place for me in the jail. Redman ended up being my cellmate after a 30-day stint in the tank. I had the top bunk. It was non-negotiable. Redman could have been a much worse cellie, but he was bad enough to keep me on edge and quiet most of the time. He was a grumpy, short man who had been in that cell as long as I'd been alive, and he didn't take shit from anybody. I learned quickly to not question him much about anything. A good rule of thumb was just let him be, and he was pretty cool. If he wanted to talk, he initiated. It wasn't the other way around. I did a lot of reading. There wasn't much else to do, and I was terrified to mingle. The inmates were mostly hardened criminals, and they all seemed to be in for murder or attempted murder. After a few weeks in my regular cell, I actually started sleeping sometimes at night instead of lying awake and thinking about my little brother and how my life changed forever after his death. Not just because I was wrongly convicted, but because the image of his killer lurked in my mind day and night. As I lay drowsing one night, I slipped into a sort of twilight between being awake and asleep. The light in the corridor flickered. Then all of them flickered. A low rumble of discontent rose from the cell block. I was aware of the grumbles along the block, but I was so exhausted that I didn't sit up. After a few moments, After a few moments, the lights burned dimmer than before. I was glad to have the semi-darkness and rolled so my back was to the corridor. Almost immediately, I went from drowsing to full sleep. It was a deep, restful sleep. Sometime later, pressure on my chest pulled me from my sleep. I tried to roll to my side again, but movement was impeded. Immediately, my eyes flew open, my brain spitting up the information for my current predicament. I was in jail. Something was pressing against me in my sleep. There was nothing there. I studied my breathing and waited for my heartbeat to slow down. My body had gone into flight or fight for some perceived danger, but there was nothing. Just the air and the snores from the other inmates echoing. And somewhere in the distance, I heard the hard clicks of a guard's footsteps that faded and finally disappeared. Rolling to my side, I carefully peered to the lower bunk to make sure Red was sleeping. A fat fly buzzed up into my face, and I swatted at it. Just another new annoyance to endure, I thought, and I leaned further. I couldn't even see Red's form under the cover, which looked undisturbed. A faint whimpering and sniffing came from the foot of his bed, next to the wall, under my feet. A tingling numbness gripped me from head to toe. I knew that sound. It was Andy, but I knew it couldn't be coming from him. I didn't have the nerve to push my face any farther over the wall side of the bed to look. Instead, I shrank back and rolled to face the wall, pulling my cover tight around my shoulder, silently praying it was Red having a meltdown. But the snuffling grew so loud, I put my hands over my ears. There was no denying it was Andy crying. And horrified, I curled into a fetal position, barely able to breathe. My eyes were squeezed shut until a small hand gripped my foot through the cover. Andy struggled his way over to the end of my bunk, grabbing handfuls of blanket and hoisting his weight onto my mattress. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. His tiny voice gurgled through the long, dead, atrophied vocal cords. It was broken by his hitching sobs. Graham, you didn't help me. His gray-white eyes stared blankly at me. Mud smeared his swollen face, and his tongue peeked blackly from between his baby teeth as he spoke. The burial shroud was torn and ragged around his ankles. Bare, torn feet poked out as he sidled up next to my feet, grunting with the effort. Andy's sobs shook his body as he moved onto my curled legs and thudded between my stomach and the wall. The cell spun. I couldn't move. My muscles were as lifeless as my brother was supposed to be. The repulsion I felt at his weight, at his crypt cold touch, and at the food stench. The foul stench of his breath was unmatched. He snuggled into the curve of my body, snuggling his face towards my chest. The coldness wafting off of him in great waves, penetrating the rough fabric of the blanket. My paralysis broke. Yeah.
I'm going to break in here. The stream just
go for it.
stopped.
What?
Yeah. I'm trying to find Dezombified. Everybody's like, I was enjoying the story. What the
Yeah.
hell happened?
What? Wow.
I'm just like, well, am I buffering? No, I'm not buffering. What?
Damn. That sucks.
Enjoying the story. Mhm. That's not nice. Don't do that.
I'm trying.
Dezombified. What the fuck?
What the fuck's going on here? We're good?
I don't know. Are we good? I'm gonna refresh my screen.
It says we're live. Can everybody hear me?
If you can hear, give us some green hearts.
Okay.
All right.
All
Okay,
right.
I'm gonna mute again.
Check. We're good? All right, I'm muting again.
Okay, here we go. Let's see where I left off here. My paralysis broke when his tiny hand reached my cheek. The icy and slimy putrefaction oozed onto my face, and I arched backwards, screaming, and I fell off the side of the bunk in a tangle of cover. The concrete floor was as cold as Andy's dead hand had been. The breath was knocked from my lungs, and I struggled to get out of the twisted cover, away from Andy's dead and seeking hand. And all of a sudden, I was jerked to my feet and faced Redman. I was screaming frantically to get away from my nightmare. Red slapped me, rocking my head back and raising blood from my lip. "Shut the hell up, fish," he growled and released me. He thumped back to his bed, shaking his head. Fearful of what I might see, I peered over the top bunk only to find it empty. No dead brother. One look at Red told me I'd best be quiet and not have another episode to wake him. After recovering and convincing myself it had only been a nightmare, I crawled back to bed and lay awake the rest of the night, my eyes wide. The harsh laughter and taunts from the other inmates died down only when a guard entered the block and threatened everyone with a lockdown the next day. And the next day, I survived endless jokes at my expense. Every inmate seemed to imitate my screams and draw joy from the terror I had gone through the night before. I didn't bother trying to explain the vivid nightmare to anyone. Hell, in that place, it's not like anyone would have cared anyway. I sat with my lunch at the end of the table where Red had nodded to. I didn't speak. I just sat there staring at the tray of food I wouldn't be able to eat. And every time I blinked, I could still see Andy's dead gray eyes. They waited for me there in the darkness, behind my eyelids. Now the guy across from me took the roll from my plate. I didn't move or protest. I just didn't care. The others took their cue from this and picked up my food like carrion birds until there was nothing left but one wasted slice of tomato. And on my way back to the cell, as we filed up the stairs, I glanced up. My body jerked to a halt as I caught a glimpse of a filthy, ragged death shroud flipped around the corner of the second-floor landing. Redman thumped into my back, and curses flew up from the men behind them. Red shoved me forward, and I got moving again, my eyes never leaving the place where I had seen the shroud disappear. We stood in front of our cells for a head count, and I couldn't suppress the urge to peer over my shoulder to the darkened corner. Stealthy movements there kept drawing my attention. Was it the monster that had killed Andy? My heart said it was, while my brain tried to inject logic and tell me that there was just no way. Then a fight broke out 2 cells to my right, and 3 guards rushed past me to break it up. We were remanded to our cells under lockdown for the rest of the day as punishment. In the prison, if one person or group screws up, everyone on the block pays the price. Sitting in the corner of my bunk with my back pressed into the corner of the cold cinder block wall, I curled my knees up and locked my arms around them. The imposed silence on the cell block gave the whole place an eerie feeling. When Red started snoring from his bed, I let my eyes drift close. After a few jolting flash shots of Andy's appearance the night before, the world went dark, and I breathed a little easier. I didn't fall asleep, but I was close when the rancid odor of musty, long decaying clothing and overpowering earth engulfed me. It didn't just drift in. It didn't move on the breeze. 1 second it was there, and the next, I was being suffocated by it. Before my eyes flew open, I already knew the monster from the graveyard was in the cell with me. Red still snored from below, so the smell didn't affect him. The creature's skull cap shone dully under the yellowed light cast from the corridor. It stood in the darkest corner of the small cell, grinning with its permanent crooked and toothy grin. The rotted shroud was no more than a few tatters of gore-caked fabric dangling over its hunched and bony shoulders. More skin had disappeared from the body, leaving the underworkings hideously exposed. Cartilage, sinew, and muscle fibers stretched over bones, still allowing locomotion. Decades after the abomination should have rotted away in its grave. It clicked its long black claws against its thigh bones restlessly. The air was too thick and pungent to pull into my lungs. My body wouldn't obey any commands to uncurl and scream. Nothing worked but my eyes. The creature stepped forward, chuckling low, and I saw glistening strings in its throat vibrate with the sound. My heart trembled and forgot how to beat. It pointed at me and nodded as if to say that I was next. It was my turn to share the same awful fate as my brother, and it moved with the halting slow-motion pace of an old hand-reeled movie projector, glitching in and out of reality faster than a heartbeat. Then, Red's face was blocking my view. His hand grabbed my arm and hauled me to the edge of the bunk, and he shook me. "What the hell, Fish? Shut up, for fuck's sake." His eyes were wild, and I realized that I had been screaming again. The sound of running footsteps made me clamp my mouth shut, and the guards were merciless bastards. I didn't want to be on the bad side of them. The dead thing and its fetid stench had disappeared, but its effects remained with me. After the guards saw nothing was happening and they left, Red demanded to know what my problem was, why I had been screaming and having night terrors like a 5-year-old since getting put in there. And I was astonished. I had only had the 2 episodes, or so I had thought, but he said it was every night without fail. Relenting, I told him about the last 2 visions or nightmares, whatever they had been, and then he questioned me about why I had been arrested. I saw something in his face that I hadn't seen in a long time. Something genuine. And it made me want to tell my story to him, to a possibly sympathetic listener. He rubbed his scruffy chin afterwards and lifted a hand to keep me quiet. So much for the sympathetic ear, I thought miserably. But later that evening, after we had finished dinner and another head count, Red mentioned for me to sit on the stool by the laughable excuse for a writing table, which was only a flimsy metal shelf attached to a block wall. He told me about an entity called a revenant, something returned from the dead to haunt the living. Not like the old ghost stories of mischievous poltergeists or ladies in white gowns drifting through old Gothic homes and pining for lost loves or some shit like that either. Revenants, according to Red, were thought only to come back to do harm to the living. When he finished his story, I was nearly crying. Everything he said about the beings had been spot on with what I had witnessed firsthand. He said that I had seen a revenant. It would come for me too, and it wouldn't stop until it got me. By the time my lawyer came to see me the next week, I was a shell of myself. I hadn't slept more than a few hours in 10 days. Every time I did, Andy, or the thing that killed him, came for me. And in my sleep-deprived haze, I understood that there was new evidence in my case proving that I had nothing to do with Andy's death. I didn't have the strength to show my excitement, so I nodded at him, signed a few papers, and I thanked him. He patted my shoulder as he left and said it wouldn't be much longer before I was a free man. The day of my release, Redman pulled me aside and told me to be careful of the Revenant, that it would follow me, haunt me like a bloodhound, till it could kill me too. Then he flashed a smile, shook my hand, and told me good luck. He said I was the only really innocent man that he had ever met in prison. No one was there to pick me up when I got out. You see, my entire family disowned me, still believing I had something to do with Andy's death. I knew how they felt, but it hurt like hell to walk out that gate and know for certain that there was nobody on my side. And I turned right and walked. That was the direction away from my previous life. To the right lay a whole future full of possibilities. New people, new surroundings, and hopefully a job that would allow me to start my life over. I couldn't quite start over completely because, well, I'd never really started my life to begin with. I had been incarcerated at 17, a senior in high school. As I walked, I could feel the weight of my past dragging along behind me, heavier with every step. As the sun dipped in the west, I decided I would keep going until I couldn't walk anymore. Wherever I had to stop was where I would make my life. I could straighten out my life and move away from this horrible incident. Time is a great healer, and all I needed was time and distance between me and the town I had grown up in. There she is. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Creepy Ghost Stories.
Yeah.
You needed more of a reason to check them out. There it was.
Tell ya.
A couple of mistakes in there, but
Everybody
I am
does
reading
that.
in the dark.
Oh my goodness. So welcome Nikos from Greece.
Cool, Brewster.
Oh, jeez.
Christina, son of Ghost and Son Ghost Squad. It's been a while, honey.
Also, thank you so much for the donation.
Yes, and I can't imagine 57 days in a row. And yeah, that's tough. And what do we do here? This is what we do here on this show. We talk to authors, and we tell stories. Boggs is going to never let me live that down.
What did he do? What did he say?
This morning this afternoon on the show, I was giving the preview for next week, and instead of saying we're going to talk about paranormal investigative tools, I said paranormal toys.
Getting kinky with it.
Oh God.
The whole chat.
You can blow that way out of proportion.
Oh yeah, and I and Boggs is like, we're doing paranormal toys next week, right? Oh God. So glad nobody can see me because my face has got to be as red as my
jeez.
And you got me in there, and you know, Brett, I'm an instigator.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I was egging it on for all it was worth.
That was even for reading it in the dark with the few problems or mistakes or whatever you want to call them. Ghost of dead batteries. That was fabulous. I remember that story, I think. Which is yes, it's pandemic has been killing everybody.
Yeah. Literally.
Oh, literally and metaphorically. Ooh.
Yeah. Touchy subject there.
When the lights
demonetized.
Go
demonetized.
It's not the zombified, it's the monetized.
Hashtag canceled.
Yeah.
No. Hey, I've had it with cancel culture.
Oh yeah,
bullshit.
for sure.
Oh, I just make fun of it now.
Yeah, I've been watching people get canceled for things they didn't even do because somebody says, and then it comes out, later that they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, when did we go from innocent before proven guilty to guilty before proven innocent?
Probably a long time ago, but yeah, I agree with you completely.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, snowflake bitches.
Yep.
Uh-oh. What the fuck has had his energy drink? We're all in trouble.
Let's get the snowflakes into a warmer climate where they can all melt.
We'll let what the fuck send his squirrel army against them. How's that?
Hey. Me and what the fuck need to combine forces with his squirrel army and my honey badger army. We will become unstoppable.
I love what Timothy Duran wrote there. People who eat hot dogs in a movie theater are a special kind of people. I've never seen anybody eat a hot dog in a movie theater.
Somebody said, like, think about hot dogs. They're pig shoved in a stomach casing. So when you eat a hot dog, does that make it goes into your stomach? Therefore, does that make you a hot dog?
Wow.
I was like, I'm never going to be able to eat a hot dog and not think about that now.
That actually describes so many different kinds of things that we eat. Never mind.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Well, think about chicken parm, right? If you're making chicken parmesan, you bread it and coat it in egg first, and it's just weird when you really think about it.
It's like weird. Hey, chicken, don't mind if I take one of your dead
your babies,
and coat
you with it, and then put some. Well, it depends on what you fry your chicken in, whether it's flour or whether it's I don't know. I know people that do it in different things. Some people that do it in crackers. Haven't figured that one out yet. But wow.
I don't know how much Brett wants to talk about food considering his line of work.
Okay, a tiny army of baby skunks and mini huskies.
Oh, that's adorable.
I could get behind that.
Can
Oh,
the skunks
yeah.
can the skunks be riding the huskies? Because if so, that's awesome.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't want to be behind the skunks.
First
They're
skunk
so-
for ya!
They're so stinking cute.
Yeah, I see
Show. Put little cowboy hats on them. There you go.
I saw a mini husky toy on an advertisement somewhere. I can't even remember where it was. And it's only about maybe 12 inches from tail to head.
Oh.
And it's like a robot dog. It follows you around. You know, I don't know if you've seen the baby Yoda that actually follows you. Yeah.
Oh, I need that. I don't have that yet.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot so much.
You just said toy and 12 inches, and I'm waiting for Boggs to jump on that.
God. Oh my god.
Heartside Gaming, welcome.
Welcome.
I'm an audiobook narrator, and I really appreciate your work. You've got great pacing and delivery and great editing.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
Wonderful.
Appreciate it.
And let's not forget one of the most important factors. You do not hear CGS's stories anywhere but on his channel, because he does original stories on this channel, with the exception of when he uploads, some of the throwback stories. But for the most part, you will not hear these stories anywhere else but on his channel.
Yeah, a lot of originals on that channel. I think probably over 200 at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Like I said, you guys got to go and check out his channel now before he gets 600 videos up, and it takes you longer to binge.
It's gonna be soon, right? I don't even know what I'm at, actually. I have no idea.
Hold on a minute. Let me see. He's done 25 videos in the last 30 days.
Yeah, that's insane.
He's got 453K views.
Yep. Slow month, actually. Yeah.
So, I mean,
you are at 577 videos.
577 videos.
Oh, wow. We'll hit 600 in a month or so. Jeez.
You got to get over there quick, guys. Just.
And I'm telling you, the video he dropped yesterday, 22, was.
Oh, that was great,
awesome.
wasn't it? That's such
really
a good
was.
story. Yeah. I was surprised. You know how, you guys are creators and you know the analytics, and you could see your number one for, last 10 videos or something.
Yeah.
And it sparkles if you're using the app, or I guess if you're on a PC as well. But, it only reached 7 out of 10. And I was like, this is such a great story. But I think I failed with the thumbnail, to be honest with you. So
I dig that thumbnail, bro.
I did too. I was like, oh, this is really cool,
Well, here's the thing. Like, Philia the other day said that my last video was going to get me a lot of recognition, and it is just not doing good. And I'm just like,
I don't understand why.
You just never know sometimes. Yeah, some of the, like the armpit story. It's like, I honestly thought it was just strange enough that maybe not go viral, but do a lot better than what it did. So
yeah. But if you listen to the second part of Timothy's story, the chapter 3 and 4, the prologue of the voices, I actually reached out to a friend to have him take my voice for the prologue and like do an echo for it. And it was phenomenal. And I'm like, people need to see this. And I was excited. And then I'm like, oh, people are watching like the other ones. Whatever. They're lost, not mine.
Yeah. Those top videos, they still amaze me sometimes when they come up. It's like my old trailer had more video, obviously, because it's every time somebody new who hasn't subscribed goes on, they see that video. And I just put a new one up, and it's like the old one had like 300 hits on it, and I'm like, wow, that's just like amazing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, that just tells me how many people have checked me out. It doesn't say anything about how many have subbed or anything else. But it's a it's one of those things that it's a measurable number, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Numbers are a big thing with creators. I don't know. I'm always like every 10-15 minutes I'm checking out, seeing, you know, kind of where I did wrong, or, you know, why are people dropping off on this video. And when you first start out, you always look at the dislikes, like, how does this guy not like me? It's it's bizarre.
It's also the well, you know, what did I do wrong that you didn't like?
Yeah.
Because there's no qualification there. And actually, YouTube doesn't care if you like it or dislike it. To them, that's somebody engaging with the video.
Sure.
So they just see it as the same thing.
Engagement.
But to PA. But to me, I'm like, qualify that. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what you didn't like.
Leave a comment. Absolutely.
I mean, I have run into people who the only reason they don't like the video is because it's a female voice.
Yep. You know, it's funny you said that, because I've had like Lady McCreepsta and a story for Uncle Ulrich called The Gravedigger, and I had about like 6 or 7. It was a huge collab, 6 or 7 other narrators, and half of them are female, and a lot of the comments were, I don't like the female voices, and I don't know.
I don't understand. I mean, my comment there is, if you don't like female narrators, don't listen to us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't come and down vote just because you don't like female voices.
Sure, but at least give you a chance. Yeah. You know, that's the whole thing. Just don't go on there, listen to, you know, 3 or 4 minutes of it and downvote it. You know, go to another story. Maybe that one just wasn't your cup of tea, but there's some great female narrators out there.
And
I was going to tell you, Mia, I have a philosophy that I want to piss off at least one person every day. So the more downvotes I get, the more people I pissed off that day. So I win.
Yeah, and like what Mia said, it doesn't matter. It's
the algorithm.
YouTube views it all the same. So
the algorithm doesn't care. They just want you to engage.
Yep.
You know, and that's why when we say, and this is for the non-creators in there, which I don't think we have very many, liking, sharing, subscribing, putting this on a playlist that you watch ever so often, all of those, and leaving a comment, all those things tell the algorithm this video is worth getting out to people, and that helps the creators.
Absolutely.
So, do
it. Absolutely. Do it. Lady Fairy J, what's the name of the one you did with Clancy and Lady McCreepsta? It's called I Found a Secret Lab from the 70s. Ooh. And I kill off Clancy really quick. So for a long time there, I was using a lot of Lady McCreepsta. We were doing quite a few collabs. Yeah. Wow. I love her voice. She's got a great voice.
I remember the one you did with Slumber, where it was the gargoyles in my counter coming to life or something like that.
Yeah, something strange like that.
Dude, it was a great story though.
Yeah.
The evil siren bitches. I enjoy ASMRs, but I mean my new trailer is kind of ASMR-ish, but it's not completely. But I don't do narrations as ASMRs. I mean, I do a narration like I'm telling a story, and if I was telling the story to my 7-year-old granddaughter, I'm not going to do ASMR.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be awkward.
And since she is my inspiration for my channel, I just can't see doing an ASMR story.
Somebody the other day told me I need to do the ASMR, but with the gravelly voice that I do in my intro, and I'm like, that's the shortest. That'd be the shortest ASMR video you're ever getting, because I can only do that voice for like 5-10 minutes at tops, and then I'm losing my voice.
Yeah, You just loop it over and over and over, like some of those artists do.
Yeah, that's why whenever I record my stories, I always record my intro last, just because I don't want to do that voice and then screw up my voice for the narration.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it kills your voice.
Yeah.
I did a story called The Soldier by Shadow Swimmer 77 as part of his Wicker story series. And after I was done with that, after two and a half hours of reading the main protagonist, I kind of did like a gravelly voice with it. I couldn't talk for days. So takes its toll for sure.
It does. And when your throat hurts to begin with, that's not a good thing to do.
No.
We're talking about gravelly voices, and I just think back to Supernatural when I found out that Misha Collins, like, his voice doesn't sound like at all like he does in Supernatural, and he just did that voice because he didn't think he was going to get the role, and then he got the role, and he had to do that voice for 15 seasons.
Oh, wow.
Or it was more like 10
Oh, no.
like season 5, and it was hilarious.
Oh my goodness. That would just be, I don't know, because I know some voice actors from anime, and it's I still don't understand how they do it sometimes, and I tease them about it, because it's like, how do you get back into that the next time you get into the studio?
Yeah.
When I was doing the voices on the book, Beautiful Nightmares book, I had to go back to the video and go, okay, what does his voice sound like again?
I've done that so many times. Absolutely. In fact, even the story I'm, a quarter of the way narrating now, I'm going to have to go back and listen to some of the characters. I try not to go too far out of the range of my normal voice, but there is a little bit extra there. Sure.
I've honestly had to do that when I was still narrating. I did a voice, and I'm like, wait, what did that sound like again?
You get me every time you do, because I'm not expecting it. Even though I know it's coming, I don't expect it. And
Welcome, traveler.
Oh, jeez. Wow. That is powerful.
It's funny that people, for the longest time, people thought I was using a voice changer, and I was literally on a Discord call, and I just did that in the middle of talking, and they're like, you can fucking switch in and out of that voice, and I was like, yeah, it comes at a cost, but I can do it. But if you listen to my new outro, like I'll do that voice at the end, and I don't even stop talking. It's literally like I'll finish the normal part of it, and I'll just slip right into that voice and right back out of it.
Wow.
But the video that I've had the hardest amount of time with on my channel when I narrated it was Fresh Meat, because I kept slipping out of that that slight Southern accent I did. I kept slipping out of it, and then I had to remember to slip back into it.
It happens. It really does.
Well, the creepypasta that I did, the actual from the creepypasta wiki, what was the name of it? The House That Death Forgot.
Oh, yeah, that's a great story.
Yep. The old lady that's inside the house.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah. Dude,
I have no idea what the fuck.
and he's not narrating currently anymore, but The Crow Flies. That man can slip into an old lady voice, and it's like it sounds like an old lady, and you're just like, dude, what the hell?
Actually, Pierre, he's been doing some stuff on the side.
Oh yeah, I know he's
check out Reaper's Horrors.
Yeah, he's been working on Reaper's Horror, but he's not narrating on his channel anymore.
Yeah, that's true. My property isn't normal. That was a good one. Yeah,
I don't think I've narrated that one yet.
Yeah, I tried to find a classic creepypasta for Creepypasta Day back in October. And The House That Death Forgot was what I chose.
Yeah, I would enjoy listening to Brett do My Property Isn't Normal. That's a good story. It's, Mr. Creepypasta's done it, and
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
also the one he's done like the gas station stories.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude,
See, I
those
won't
stories-
really touch those though. I think the gas station stories is a book on Amazon as well. So
Yeah, they are Tales from the Gas
Yeah.
Station.
I don't know if I touch that property.
Like creepy Mr. Creepypasta has like I've seen other people do Tales from the Gas Station, and I'm just like, yeah, you should just leave that one alone because
Yeah.
the way he does it is like so iconic. It's just like nobody ever matches up.
Can't remember the name of the one that Dr. Creepin did that had me just sitting there going, nobody will ever be able to do this as good as this.
And it's because Mr. Creepypasta, like he's a very talented narrator, but his voice is perfect for comedy horror.
He's also really, really down to earth.
He is. I really enjoy talking to him.
Surprised me when I met him because I had heard all, I didn't know who he was when I first started. I didn't. No, I'll admit it. Okay. I came in through Obsolete Oddity, Your Maker, Let's Read, and Jensen. And then it spread out to, Phantom of Darkness and so forth.
Mhm.
And hello, Dice 89. This is a cool meeting of the minds. And so I didn't even know who he was until like I'd been doing videos for like 6 months. And I'm like, there's actually somebody whose YouTube name is Mr. Creepypasta. Really?
Yeah, he struck gold when he grabbed that one.
And
What a way to catch the YouTube algorithm for sure.
yeah, really. And then I listened to him. Well, he's pretty good, his editor at the time was leaving in edits and things like that. And I was like, no. But then when they did the HorrorCon VR this past year in October, I went into the Discord and I was just trying to get some information because we were going to highlight it on Horror Honeys. And I wanted to get, what was going on, who was going to be there, that type of thing, the days and times and all that. And I got a link given to me by somebody and, if you need any more, let me know type thing. And then the next thing I know, I've got a DM from Mr. Creepypasta.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, hey, I see you're doing a show. Do you need anything? Do you need some graphics? Do you need, I said, can I use the website? And he goes, oh yeah, go ahead. He's like, anything you need. Do you have any questions? Do you want me to take you on a tour? I mean, it was really amazing that he was just so down to earth and personable, and it really made a good impression on me.
I am super
And
duper cereal.
Cereal.
Cereal. So yeah, Creepin' is like Sinatra. But he's another one, Dr. Creepin'. He's just, like I said, Joel is humble to a fault.
Yeah, he's got a great silky voice too. I could listen to him for hours.
Yeah, I put Joel on mostly when he's my binge when I've got a migraine, and I get a lot of migraines, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll put him on and I'll just close my eyes and it helps. There's something about the cadence of his voice that just it helps. It's like
It's
Yeah.
smooth. It's smooth.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah, creeping is one of mine. Brett, you're one of mine that like if I'm having like a really bad like my anxiety is just horrible, I'll throw you guys on, and I might not even be listening to the story, but like the cadence of your guys' voice just like helps to keep my anxiety either where it's at so it doesn't get worse or take it down.
Sweet. Thanks, man. I usually just pop a Xanax for that, but
Oh, I have anxiety medication, but like there's just times where it doesn't work. Like I just had to up my medication because I was sitting at a constant 7 or 8 all the time.
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I'm well aware of the feeling.
Oh, well, I mean, and that's another thing is I don't think, and you're one of them, like TA is one of them. A lot of the narrators, I will fish around and try to find somebody's voice who helps me with other pains, and I have chronic pain, so it's something that I always going, for something to calm the pain down somehow. And yeah, no buffer. Actually, I think they're trying to tell us to get off. Legit working on a story, especially for creepy ghost stories. I'd love to have him do with Mr. Creepypasta, Lighthouse Horror, and Dark Somnian. Creepy's voice is always constantly awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Dice89. Appreciate that.
Night.
I've never spoken with Mr. Creepypasta, so.
Oh, wow.
But I do talk to Ronnie occasionally, Dark Somnian. So,
Ronnie's,
who knows? Maybe.
Ronnie's cool. Lighthouse. Mama's making dinner. What we having, Mama?
Mama, what you cooking me? Mamma mia.
No, that's.
I'll tell you what, that dang old internet
No,
man going on
God,
there, point and click, get in there, talk about www.w.com, you got them naked chicks on there, man. You go click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Oh, God.
Nature's Temper is a hunk.
Oh, he is.
Well, he's a good-looking man.
That is.
Yeah.
Nature's Temper is. Yeah. I was like, Nature's Temper is Thor embodied, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Have you listened to Four Shots? My roommate is Slender Man on his channel.
No.
Yeah, one of our friends, my roommate is, I think my roommate's Slender Man, and God, did he do an awesome job. And I'm still waiting for Nature's Temper to narrate the rest of it because there's more.
There's more.
Well, I think he's busy down there,
Oh yeah, he definitely. I'm just looking forward to it.
He's got things going on. I think he's a lumberjack, actually, or he was, but he was going to school for animals or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I loved whenever he was on a live stream discussing his channel and how I got its name and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, he's an animal lover. That makes sense. He's in the horror community because we all love our animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so we want to thank you a lot for coming and joining us today, Brett.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
And we didn't get to ask you a couple of the questions we usually do.
Hey, people! I just want to say, people, we are 1 like away from 30. Somebody like this stream so we can get to 30.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on, guys. But really appreciate you coming, and don't be a stranger, dude.
Yeah. Hey. It's tough hopping on sometimes, but
Yeah.
I'll try again. We'll try again.
Yeah, man, this is a lot of fun.
Have that vocal smoothness, not brown nosing. I just like what's easy on the ears.
Yes, we have. Yeah, absolutely. I remember. Yeah.
Not a problem. I'm really grateful Brett was able to hop on because whenever I started the show, he was one of the top people I wanted to bring on.
Thanks, BA.
Not a problem, man.
Mia, you were wonderful
PA
tonight.
for- Thank you. Even though Boggs is getting on my case again.
And that story that you read, Brett, that was awesome.
It was.
Yeah, that was
I know,
amazing.
right?
Appreciate it.
It was great. I was hanging on to your every word.
Oh yeah, we got 30.
And then the thing went down, and we all went, no!
No.
Oh, that was so rigged.
I know. It was like, don't want to break into the story, but
Yeah, I was like, what is going on right now? 30 likes. There you go. 30
There we
thumbs
go.
up.
All right,
Good job.
thanks everybody for putting it
Yay.
together. We were able to squeeze some blood out of a stone and get 30 likes. Thank you. All right.
all right.
All right. I appreciate everybody having me on. Thanks so much.
Oh, you made our night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No man, this was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, really, really enjoyed it.
And thank you to everybody who showed up to our our late night stream, because usually we do this at 5 p.m. but to accommodate, Brett's working schedule, because, adulting.
Nope, worked again. We're off air.
It broke again. That's all right. We were in
we're
it
done.
anyways.
It's all good.
Hey, Brett, I
All
didn't
right,
want
thanks a lot, guys. It was great talking to you guys.
Hey, Brett, before you go, I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
I didn't want to put you on the spot on the stream though. If
Sure.
I ever needed to get a guest voice, you mind if I send you a story and you do some audio for me one of these days?
Yeah, hey, anything, man. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
That is so
Yeah,
nice.
I didn't want to ask you on stream and put you on the spot and make you feel like you had to
Yeah,
say
no,
yes.
it's
So
all
I was
good,
like,
man.
I'll just wait.
Of course.
Dustin,
of
I mean,
course.
I've known you for years. So.
Yeah, we've known each other for 3 years.
That's a wonderful friendship right there.
Yeah, I actually found you through Dustin.
I've shared quite a few people your channel. They're like, creepy ghost stories. What? And I'm like,
Yeah.
go watch. You will think.
Yeah, he does.
You too, Mia. If you need anything, let me know. Absolutely.
I will.
Cool.
You're the coolest.
All right, guys,
If
I'm gonna
you-
bounce.
Coolest MF.
If you ever need a
Oh, Brett is
and
dope.
if you ever need a guest voice,
Everybody
Brett,
give it up
you
for
know where
Brett.
I'm at, man.
Yay.
All right, see you guys.
Hear me
Good night.
clapping.
Wonderful weekend.
Night.
Bye.
But
He is so cool.
yeah,
he is.
Brett's
For sure.
literally one of the most chill dudes ever.
Yeah.
It's probably why me and
Vibes.
him click so well, because I'm chill.
Yeah, you.
Unless you get pissed off.
Oh,
And it's not, that's not easy to do. Like you to
No,
piss
it's not.
me off, it's not
saying.
easy.
I'm sure about that. No doubt.
I don't know why we had so much trouble. I don't know if it's YouTube, because YouTube's been having trouble with their staying up. That sounded really bad. Now I'm doing it to myself.
What? You know how
I
mine.
don't even need dogs to
You
make
know
fun of
I'm
me.
ready to hop in there, but ay. Anyway, great stream, guys. I got to go. Miss Theory wants to spend some time with me tonight. But tomorrow we
Yeah.
return
Alright.
with Toon Talk at 3 p.m. So everybody, please return tomorrow. And everybody have a good night. And tomorrow, Toon Talk at 3 once again. Good night, PA. Good night.
Yep.
Me and Mina, I'm out.
Good night.
Bring us home.
I just want to thank you one more time, Dezombified, for allowing us to go on late so we could accommodate Brett. That was awesome, you guys. I appreciate that.
No doubt,
Yeah.
man. We're here to serve.
I'm
That's
so
what we
happy
do.
to be here.
All right, beautiful.
I
I
appreciate
see y'all
everyone
soon.
in the chat.
All right, 100.
Love you guys.
Love you too. And I am going to go lay back down because
Yeah,
my
I'm gonna
legs are vibrating.
take my medication. I'm gonna probably find something to eat quick, and I'm going to try to head to bed myself shortly
All right.
because it is already midnight and I got to be up at 9:30.
Yeah, because you got to work tomorrow.
Yup. All right, later, guys.
Later.
song.